Hello, my name is Fatin Najwa. My matric number is 298301. So our group going to talk about the digital economy with a case study with TikTok Shop Pen in Indonesia. So I'm going to talk about the introduction for the digital economy. Okay, so for the introduction, first of all, what is digital economy? So digital economy refers to an economy that is based on digital technologies, especially the internet. So it includes all economic activity that result from everyday online connection among people, business, devices, data and processes. Digital economy also can be divided into few parts such as e-commerce, digital content and media, online education, digital advertising and more. So our group going to focus on the e-commerce, that is the platform to buy and selling product. Okay, so the rise of digital economy has reshaped global trade, communication and governance. So as we all know, TikTok is known as a platform for entertainment. But nowadays, TikTok have beyond entertainment and becoming the most powerful tools for commerce and socio-economic transformation. So this has led to TikTok Shop Pen in Indonesia in 2023. Okay, moving on to the next part, that is background. So in the background, I'm going to talk about the TikTok Shop Ban in Indonesia. So basically, TikTok Shop has been banned in Indonesia in September 2023. So this action has been taken after concern over the data privacy, unfair competition, and the needs to protect micro, small, and medium enterprises. So this move was made by the Indonesian government, amended trade regulation, disallowing social media platform from conducting direct transaction. So TikTok Shop also has been seen as the bypassing conventional e-commerce rules and harming the local seller who could not compete with the algorithm-driven visibility and pricing advantage of the platform. So why did I say why the local seller can't compete with the TikTok Shop, and why do people prefer TikTok Shop? First of all, it offers you more coupons and offer, and it is cheaper than other platforms and also from the store. It is also more trusted and offer you a fast delivery and sometimes free delivery. So this decision sparked national and international discussion about the limits of digital capitalism, foreign technology influence, and state authority in the digital age.
Moving on to the literature review, so the growth of digital economy has led many scholars to reassess back the traditional economic theories, basically to help us to understand the economy, especially on how the global digital platforms operate across the border or across the countries. So the first research by Nick in 2017, he introduced the idea of platform capitalism, where digital platforms like TikTok or Amazon, they don't only have to sell and buy, but also they control the whole process because they own the data and also they use smart system. So smart system is basically advanced technology like AI or machine learning, where they collect huge amount of data and they analyze the data and make a fast decision based on what they have learned without needing human worker. So the second research by Najwa and Coltrane in 2019, they introduced the idea of data colonialism, where big companies from powerful countries like United States or China, they often collect huge amount of data from people around the world, including in developed country or weaker country. So they often do this in popular platforms like TikTok or Facebook. So the researcher compared this practice to colonialism in the past, where powerful countries would go to weaker countries to collect goods like spices or gold. But in today's practice, the goods that being stolen is the personal data, basically like your online activities or locations. So this could lead to a loss of controls, unfair use of data, and also influence over the local culture. So the last research by Flu et al. 2021, he focusing on the concept of digital sovereignty, where many governments around the world starting to concern on how much control foreign global technologies companies from powerful states like US or China have over their digital spaces. So digital sovereignty means that a country's ability to control its own digital infrastructure or its own data within its national borders. So this idea becoming more important as many global technologies companies starting to expand their influence across the world. So to avoid this, many countries, including Indonesia, starting to take actions, basically make them to pay taxes or setting rules for online businesses. So by doing this, the government will have much control over its own digital business.
Today I will briefly explain the topic, the TikTok shop ban in Indonesia from a realist perspective in international political economy. This case is not just about banning an online shopping feature. It shows how governments make strategic decisions to protect their country's economy and independence, especially in digital world. To understand this better, I will explain the theory of realism in IPE. In international political economy, realism is a theory that focuses on the idea that states or governments act to protect their own power, security, and national interests. So in this view, the government is the most important actor, more important than companies or international organizations. Realists believe that countries don't just want profit, they also want control and independence, especially when dealing with powerful foreign companies. So when Indonesia banned TikTok shop in 2023, it wasn't just about business. The government saw TikTok shop owned by a Chinese company as a threat to local business, and they were also worried about data privacy to foreign control. Local small sellers couldn't compete fairly, and the government didn't want to depend too much on a foreign digital platform. So from the realist perspective, this ban was a way for Indonesia to protect its economy and its sovereignty, meaning the country's right to make its own rules. Realism helps us see that in today's world, digital platforms like TikTok are not just fun apps. They can also affect a country's power and independence. Thank you.
So for the next part is I will be analyzing on why realism is the best theory that explains Indonesia's decision to ban TikTok. So Indonesia's ban on TikTok is a prime example of how states exercise strategic agency in the digital economy. So from the perspective of the international political economy, this move is not just about economic regulation, it also explains the efforts to protect state sovereignty, to limit foreign influence on Indonesia, and also to protect Indonesia's own national interests. So first and foremost, about the state sovereignty. So realism is the theory that argues that states remain as the primary actors in global affairs and they must protect their sovereignty. So especially when faced with powerful non-state entities, TikTok for example, TikTok operates at a scale that allows it to shape consumer behavior and influence domestic markets and collect large volumes of user data. So Indonesia's government is concerned about this, and Indonesia view this as a seamless integration of social media and e-commerce as a challenge to its ability to regulate commercial activities within its borders. So by banning TikTok, by banning transactional features on social media, the state effectively re-established its role as the gatekeeper of economic activity. It also protects the domestic market. Also, other than that, it also protects Indonesia's national economic interests. So why is that? It is because from a realist standpoint, states pursue economic policies not for mutual benefit, but to secure relative gains and bolster domestic power. So the Indonesian government, they cited that they need to protect the MSMEs, the micro, small and medium enterprises, which form the backbone of the national economy from the algorithm-driven dominance of TikTok Shop. Additionally, foreign influence can also be reduced by banning TikTok. So as we all know, TikTok is a platform that transcends borders, and it is owned by a Chinese company, which adds a layer of geopolitical concern. So realism emphasizes that economic tools are often used for strategic influence, and foreign technology can become vectors of soft power or even surveillance. So that is why the Indonesian government was likely concerned not just with TikTok's economic power, but also with the data sovereignty issues and the potential for foreign control over critical digital infrastructure. So in this context, realism views digital platforms as extensions of state power, and especially when the platform originate from countries with rising geopolitical influence like China. So to conclude, the TikTok Shop ban in Indonesia demonstrates realism's key assertions that states must act to protect power and autonomy, and that markets are arenas of strategic competition, and that foreign economic actors are subject to political calculation. And this realist reading reveals on how even seemingly technocratic policies are underpinned by deeper logics of national interest and geopolitical positioning in the digital age.